Heyo, I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. Back again today with another exciting toy review. Traditionally I do a lot of G.I. Joe toy reviews here, but today we're going a little bit off the beaten path into another line that I really am excited about. It's the Masters of the Universe Classics line. And specifically today we're looking at Gwildor. So Gwildor was the character from the 1987 film Masters of the Universe. He's the guy that made the cosmic key that kind of kick-started the entire plot for most of the movie. So, yeah, pretty awesome, pretty excited about this. It does come in this nice, well, nicely thing, I don't know, regular brown mailer. So we're going to take this thing out of the box, then take the figure out of the package, and then do a quick review for y'all. So, should be pretty exciting, and it's a character I really like. A lot of people have strong opinions one way or the other about the movie itself and the characters involved with it. But for me, the movie was pretty awesome. So it's I'm pretty excited to get an actual new updated version of the character. The original figure came out in, what, 87, 88 as part of the movie tie-in. And it was a pretty cool figure. But I'm excited to see what the new version looks like. And we'll do a comparison if we can, so stick with us. This is Gwildor. As you can see, it comes in the traditional brown mailer box. Nothing too special about it. Does have the printed logo and the character name on the side. The whatever BHG54 ID number on the bottom. Pretty much nothing else. The regular copyright blah 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 stuff. Other than that, there's really nothing special about these particular mailers. So we're going to go ahead and open this thing up. On the top, there is a single flap here, so you just pull that flap off and then just fold down the cardboard. Now these things come from the factory pretty tightly packed in here, so sometimes they're a bit difficult to slip in and out, but you just kind of have to grin and bear it and just kind of pull on it and move around until you can get a hold of it and just pull it out. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. This one looks like it's not going to be that easy. Don't really like that, but it's the only really bad thing about these that I don't like is the fact they do come pretty tightly packed in here. So by taking them out, you kind of run the risk of slightly damaging the packaging if you're not careful. But for loose collectors, not a big deal, because we're going to throw the packaging away anyhow. But for you that really like having mint and package, these things are best to kind of leave in there, but then you can't see them, so I don't know. This one's being a bit of a booger. There we go. Now we can get it. The box is empty now, so we can recycle that. And here we have Gwildor. Let me turn this overhead light off. See if that helps any. Gwildor. This is a very cool looking figure, to be honest with you. They've done an amazing job on the sculpt just by looking at it right here. So here is the front of it. Nice window box, traditional Masters of the Universe Classics design. Flip it over to the back and we've got the file card plus the other characters that you can collect. Very nice. So yeah, this is really cool packaging. Just for the sake of argument, before we tear into this figure, I also happen to have an original vintage line release of the Gwildor figure. As you can see, you probably can't see it too well. This is in a protective case, a Protect case. This particular figure is in really rough shape card-wise. You can see that it's yellowing a bit on the bubble, and it's got some terrible stress marks on everything, and it's chewed up pretty bad. But still, it's an original Gwildor release from the movie. And just so you can see, here's the back of it. Pretty basic, pretty plain stuff, but it's kind of cool to see how far we've come packaging wise, and just the different aesthetics. And I think they're using the same artwork down here as they did up here, so that's kind of cool. But I did want to just kind of show you a quick comparison of what the old one looked like and what the new one looks like. So there's that out of the way. We may zoom in on that a little later when we actually get the figure out, but first we got to do that. We got to get the figure out. So the best way I found to do this is to use my X-Acto knife and just cut around the bubble edges, pretty much all the way around. So I just start at the bottom usually, or you can start at the top, whichever. But I usually start at the bottom. Poke a hole in there and just slide the razor all the way up the edges, around these weird angles that they have, around the other side, following those angles, and back down to the bottom. Then once that's complete, we can just fold the packaging up and slide the figure out. Then while we're here, you can kind of see the packaging has some nice work going on here. The Masters of the Universe Classics logo and a lot of shiny beam thing coming down, and it's pretty cool. Other than that, there's not a lot going on in the packaging. You can pull out these things and reuse them for things later if you so like. I don't need them, so I'm not going to worry about it. You can also pull off the logo from the front like so, and now you've got a very cool sticker that you can use for your collection if you so choose. They just kind of, well, they used to just peel off. This may just be a piece of plastic now. It's not an actual sticker, but they used to be stickers. So I guess I haven't opened one of these in a while. But still, this part at least is very cool to keep. So I usually keep a couple of these laying around. But other than that, this packaging material can be tossed away and recycled. But that's a cool thing. So we'll slide that over to the side and take a look at the figure. This is cool. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it over, and on the back side we've got a couple of these clear elastic bands. So I'm going to go ahead and just slice them open so we can get into the figure a little easier. And some of the accessories also have these elastic bands, so make sure you slice them open as well. And that should do it. And we'll flip it back over and see what we've got here. So I'm going to start with the accessories. We've got a cosmic key here that's in the extended position, I guess you could say. It's got a nice detail work on it. We'll look at this a little closer a little later, but it's kind of cool that they have the basically the prototype version from the movie here. So Set that to the side. Then we've got a handheld version of the Cosmic Key. Pretty cool looking. Then we've got Gwildor's staff over here. And it actually comes out pretty easily. Just kind of slide it down and out. Some nice detail work on it. There's a little crystal on the top. Put that to the side. And then let's pull Gwildor out. And he comes out very easily. I'm too used to the G.I. Joe things where you gotta fight pretty much every inch to get them out. So there we go. Recycling bin. And here's what you get in the set. Gwildor, the Cosmic Key prototype, the portable version of the Cosmic Key, and his staff. Really cool looking. We'll go ahead and zoom in now and take a closer look at the figure and the accessories. Now that we're zoomed in, we can take a look at these a little bit closer. So we're going to start with the handheld version of the Cosmic Key. Slide Gwildor over to the side. So yeah, this is a pretty cool accessory here. It does have the spinning blades on it. The keys, or whatever you want to call it, tuning forks that he's using. Other than that, it's got some nice paint work on it. The metal looks distressed. They did a nice job with the paint apps on that. But very basic as far as the rest of this thing goes. And as you can see, it's that really soft plastic, so you can bend it around quite easily. So if for some reason it looks a little distorted to you, just kind of fold it around like this. The handle's a little bit bent, so you can just kind of bend it back and straighten it out more or less to your liking. But overall, very cool looking. Nice. While we're on the subject of Cosmic Keys, let's take a look at this prototype version. So in the movie, he actually made two different versions. He made basically the one that Skeletor gets to begin with, which is the one that activated and let people in. Again, looking at this one, this is kind of meant to be that kind of prototype. Well, I say prototype, but it's the actual full version. His handheld version was actually the prototype in the film, but that's okay. We'll kind of come back to that later. But so this version also spins. The little tuning forks turn. It's got a little bit more detail work on it, so it's got some nice gold coloring on here, as well as the distressed metal look. It's got a nice handle strap right here on the side that is non-removable. It's molded in, but it looks really nice. The big activator button at the bottom, and this weird glowy fire thing, I guess, that's coming out of the top. But yeah, that's pretty cool looking. Very nice work on that. Then now we'll take a look at his staff. This is a very cool looking staff. He's got a lot of little gadgets and things, so Gwildor is an inventor, so not surprising he'll have some activator switches and things like this. So there's some nice subtle paint apps going on in here. So there's some different variations in the wood itself, some black stripes and going on in here, and the brown. The little button on the top here is a gold color, so that's cool. Then we've got all this really intricate detail work in the top half of the staff. Very cool looking. And then of course this crystal at the top. So that's pretty awesome. Very nicely done. But now we're on to what we actually came to look at, Gwildor himself. So this is a really awesome sculpt. It's meant to resemble Billy Barty from the film, who plays Gwildor, and they did an amazing job on the sculpt on this thing. It's probably one of the best representations of a actual person that I've seen in the plastic form. This is pretty awesome. They pretty much got it spot on for Gwildor from the film. Flipping over, you can see the back. They put a lot of detail work into this thing. So his cloak Has all this gold trimming and everything, and lots of little detail work going on. It's really just pretty amazing there. So, also got some pockets down here at the bottom and some little doodads hanging out of his pockets. Very cool looking. So let's look at the articulation. His head does rotate, and his hairpiece kind of limits the rotation, but he can still has a pretty good range of motion, so you can do pretty much anything you would like to do other than spinning his head around. And that's really cool looking. It's pretty awesome. His shoulder joint is the traditional shoulder joint that we have seen with all the rest of them. It's kind of hard. It is a little bit limited in articulation because of this oversized vest thing, coat jacket that he's wearing. But again, a lot of detail work going on in this stuff here, so very cool. Then at his elbow joint, he has a swivel and a rocker, so he can turn around and his arm does move up and down, so very nice there. Then he also has articulation at the wrist with just a swivel. Very cool. So you can't actually get to his body, so I don't know that it doesn't seem like he has the ab crunch feature. This coat kind of limits any of that anyway, so it's not a big deal. Then he does have just the single forward and back motion on his hip joints, so he can't spread his legs out or anything like that. He can only move them forward and backwards. He does have a swivel joint, I guess, at his knee, so you can rotate his feet around however you want to, which is nice. But that's about the extent of the articulation. He does also have the rocker at his ankle, so you can get that extra little bit of articulation there. But again, it's kind of hard to really notice that because of this big bulky jacket thing that he's wearing, this robe. Other than that, yeah, this is a really awesome looking figure. Very cool. They did a really outstanding job with this, so kudos to the Four Horsemen for this amazing sculpt. So again, we've got the original vintage release here. It is in the package, so we can't really see a whole lot with it, but if I turn this thing just right, hopefully the light's not reflecting too bad off of that, but you can kind of see the difference here. Size-wise, he's pretty much the same size, but just the level of detail work is just hands down far and beyond with the new release. So anyways, it's still kind of cool to see the original version here and compare the two, but it's not the best figure in the world, the original one. This other one, however, is pretty awesome. As far as the accessories go, he's got one hand that is kind of open completely, so there's not much you can do with that arm, and then the other arm is set so he can grip his staff, and his staff fits in his hand very easily, and it's pretty tight in there, so it's not going to fall off or anything like that, which is really nice. I do like that. This really huge cosmic key, he can kind of fit in his arm like this and run around with it, I guess, if you need him to. But luckily he's got this portable version that you can kind of stick on his arm, sort of like that, and he can still work and hold it and everything, so it works. It's not the best in the world, but it is what it is. We can make it work. Then again, you can also let him hold the key in his other hand, but then his staff wouldn't have somewhere to go. So it works. It's not the most elegant solution, but whoop, it does work. So I'm kind of glad for that. But he can kind of pretend like he's from Willow too, and shoot laser bolts or something out of his hand. So all in all, it's a very cool looking figure. Really nice detail work. And outstanding detail work, I guess I should say. It's just kind of crazy to see it like this, and I never expected to see Gwildor look this good in figure form, and they really came through in this particular instance. So yeah, whether or not you like the movie or not, this is still an amazing figure, and it'll look great in any collection. So I highly recommend you try to pick this thing up if you can find it. So that's been our review for the Masters of the Universe Classics Gwildor release. All in all, this is a great figure. It's one of the best sculpts that I've seen since the debut of this line. It really is a fantastic thing, and you do have to kind of see it in person to kind of get the full effect here. A lot of people I know didn't like the movie, but myself, it was great. I loved it. So I would recommend picking this thing up simply because it is an amazing figure. It's a great representation of the character Gwildor, and it's just awesome. So luckily it's not too hard to find right now on the secondary market. Occasionally he may pop back up on the MotU Collector website, so check that out, see if you can find it at that price. Otherwise, yeah, go find him, pick him up. So that's all the time we got for today, so thank you for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel below, post some comments in the section below, and until next time, happy hunting.